You are listening to the Aim to Win in Business and Life podcast with Tony Coleman Brown, where we believe that in life, you're either winning or learning, but never losing. So let's get ready to win with Tony Coleman Brown.
Hi, you're listening to the Aim to Win in Business and Life podcast, and this is Tony Coleman Brown. On today's episode, you will hear from entrepreneur and life coach Terryl Ebony, and you'll also discover what it takes to become a producer and how to become more productive in your business and life. This is an episode that you will be glad you tuned in for, so get ready to learn and get ready to win right now. So, Terryl, why don't you tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself and a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. So I'm Terryl Ebony. I am a speaker, author, known as the producer, productivity strategist, mompreneur, child of God. I help new and aspiring entrepreneurs pursue their dreams, find, embrace, and live in their purpose by using effective time management, organization, systems, and strategies so that they can truly produce the results that they want. I have been in this industry for a little over 3 years. I have been coaching for, I would say, about maybe 10 years or more. Been an entrepreneur since, I would say about the last 20 years. I have been an entrepreneur, have a nonprofit, community advocate. I am a lover of people, just helping them get to the places that they want and so that they can live their best selves.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So in this day and age, you know that people are busy. They have a lot of things going on, and a lot of people want to find their purpose. So I know you're the find your purpose expert. So I want to know, and I know everybody else out there want to know, how do you help people to find their purpose?
Well, it really starts with I tell people it starts with what you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. It starts with your intuition. I'm a faith-based believer, very spiritual. And I tell people that what your purpose is has been put inside of you before you were even born. So that thing that you're constantly thinking about, that thing that, may have happened to you, and this thing that you're constantly thinking about could be good or bad. And people seem to be like, isn't it something that I'm supposed to be, always happy about? Not necessarily, because sometimes bad things happen to us and it produces a passion inside of us that we can't just let go of. So sometimes it's that thing that we feel like, okay, this has happened to me, again, good or bad, and now I need to pursue it. This, I need to let everybody else know about it. I need to, put it out there so everybody else can either experience it, they can learn from it, or something to that effect. So when people are looking for their purpose, I always start with, tell me about you. Tell me about your life. Tell me about the things that you've been through. Tell me about your hobbies. Tell me about the things that you like, the things that you don't like. Tell me about the tragedies that you've been through in life, because sometimes in those tragedies, those tests become our testimonies that become our passion and our pursuits and our purpose.
I know that's right. Now, you mentioned something that I'd like to really touch upon, and that thing is, sometimes you go through things and you have pain in your life, and sometimes that pain delivers you to your purpose.
That's
and
right.
What I want to talk to you about is, how do you help people work through that pain? Because I was looking at a video the other day, and it was about Les Brown, and he was talking about how he has cancer, and he's been battling cancer for a long time. And he talked about, what do you do when your prayers aren't answered? Mm-hmm. And one of the things he said was that, you keep the faith and you keep on praying. But sometimes when you get hurt or when something happens in your life that kind of knocks you off your square, it actually pushes you to a place where you have to tap into your passion, because it's only your passion that's going to help you get out of that situation. Mm-hmm. So talk to people about that. How do they turn their pain into their passion and their purpose?
What happens there, I truly believe that at that point in time, people don't even realize when their faith is being tested or when their faith is being reactivated. And sometimes we have to, because we, like you said, sometimes we may lose our faith because of all the different things that happen in our life, but there's going to come a point in time where that faith is going to be reactivated, or something else is going to happen where you're going to be like, you know what, I can no longer be silent, because it's going to keep gnawing at you. That's going to, something is constantly going to keep bringing that thing up, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, I thought I put this thing behind me, and here it keeps on coming up. It's like, that bad boyfriend that just won't go away. And it just keeps coming up, and you want to know, why is it coming up? It's coming up for a reason, and that reason is what needs to be explored. And that's what we then do. Little by little, we explore that thing that keeps gnawing at you, that thing that keeps coming back, and we try to explore why it keeps coming back. Why can't you get rid of it? Because a lot of people don't even realize that becomes their passion, that's their passion. As far as they're concerned, it's like an eyesore. It's like, why does this thing keep coming back? And not realizing it's because it's your purpose. It's because there's something that you need to be doing with that thing that you just don't realize it yet. Because people, they honestly, they look at purpose and they look at happiness. So they automatically feel that if it's my purpose, shouldn't I be happy with it? And in the beginning, the reality of the situation is you may not be happy with it. But what may make you happy is the fact that by you talking through it, by you helping somebody else through it, and you seeing somebody else overcome something that you went through because of your help, because of something that you've experienced, because of something that you've said, that is what's going to make you happy. And then that's what's going to become your passion, because you're going to see that your test is now a testimony for somebody else.
There you go.
And you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how powerful something so negative that happened to me, how it could be so impactful on someone else.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody in the chat said that your passion becomes your lifeline. What do you think about that?
Your passion becomes your lifeline. I love it.
I love it too.
Absolutely, because that's that thing. You can't get rid of it. And it's like you wake up in the morning, you thinking about it. You go to sleep, you thinking about it. You at lunch, you thinking about it. And it's because you're so passionate about it. You just want to help. You just want to get that thing out there. And I mean, it could be anything. It could be singing. It could be dancing. But whatever it is that you're passionate about, it's going to be in your blood. And sometimes what you're passionate about might make you real upset. It might make you real upset. You might want to start throwing things. But guess what? Sometimes that's the passion and the fury in that passion that's going to make you great. That's what's going to make you great, because that's what's going to make you even more determined to make sure that whatever it is that you're supposed to do with that passion actually gets done. That's what's going to make you a producer. That's what's going to make you to produce the results that you really want to get.
All right now. So when you are coaching with your clients and they're looking to get more results out of their business, they really want to become top producers, what are some of the things that you tell them to help them to become real producers?
The first thing that we kind of talk about is mindset. That's the first thing. In order for you to be a great producer, you have to have a producer's mindset. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to switch hats from the employee mindset to the CEO mindset. So we got to go through those kind of things first and make sure that your mind is right. Make sure that your thoughts are right. Make sure that you're speaking right, so that this way you start acting right. And if you can do those things, if you can think right, if you can speak right, and you start acting right, the rest is history. You're going to start producing right. That's the way it flows in terms of mindset and in terms of being a producer, right? Yeah. But the other things, it's really about using your time effectively. Let's face it, a lot of people that are entrepreneurs are off. They also have a 9-to-5. They're trying to transition from employee to employer, or, you know, they are very comfortable having both, doing both, but they still want their business to thrive. So you have a little bit of time, but you want to accomplish the greatest amount of results. You want the biggest impact in the smallest amount of time. So it's a matter of developing the right systems and strategies to make sure that that happens. It's about making sure that you have good time management skills, making sure that you're very organized, making sure that you delegate, making sure that you have automation, you know, different things, different strategies and systems that we kind of go through and that I teach them to make them very great producers.
Oh, that's awesome. So what type of automation strategies do you teach?
So automation, we talk about using schedulers. I like Calendly. There's a lot of other ones that are out there. I talk about using Hootsuite or Buffer for social media content, content development. We talk about different CRMs so that this way you have constant email automations and that things are just flowing properly. Different webinar systems that you can use. There's so many different things that you can do and put in place so that you don't have to do it yourself. I always tell people, if you don't have to do it, you should be concentrating in your business on that thing that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that you should be doing most of the time in your business. Everything else, you should either automate or delegate. Automate or delegate.
I like that.
Those are the two things that you should be doing. You should be focused. So for me, I want to focus my attention on my clients. I want to be speaking. I want to be, having those one-on-one conversations or those group conversations with my clients. So I don't have time to be on social media all the time looking for new clients. So that's why I automate and I delegate. So I make sure that there's other people or other systems that are working for my business so that I can begin working on my business.
I know that's right. I believe in automation. You know that.
Yes. We do. You got the Facebook ads working for you. Now we got Instagram. You have all these different ways that you can automate so that this way it's constantly looking for new clients for you. It's constantly doing these things so you don't have to worry about doing it all yourself. It might take 5 minutes for you to create a nice little video or something, for you to pop into that Facebook ad, make it look pretty, and then put it out there and let it do the rest for you.
That's right. That's right. So that's going to be my new term for 2018. Automate or delegate.
Automate or delegate.
I love it. I love it. So as it relates to business, what are some of the mistakes that you see entrepreneurs making, and what piece of advice would you give to them in order for them to get off the wrong track and get on the right track?
Ooh, there's a couple. There's a couple like main things that I see entrepreneurs doing. One of the first things is, especially as far as productivity goes, is that they are multitasking. Multitasking is not a good thing. It's a bad word. It is a bad word, okay? It's like throwing around the F-bomb. It is a bad word. Okay. Do not multitask, okay? Do not multitask. That is one of the things that will actually keep you counterproductive. I always say, if you can set out and be intentional about completing one task, complete it and get it over with. It's always better to do that than to have 5 or 6 different things on the table and nothing is completed. Because if I come to you and say, okay, well, what service or what package can you provide me? And you say, well, I got 3 different packages in the works, but none of them are complete. You just lost money. You just left money on the table, because now I'm walking away to somebody else who has a completed package because I need a package today. I don't have time to wait for you to complete yours. Now, if you had just taken the time out to complete one package, then work on the next one, at least you would have a finished product. So I find that multitasking has been keeping a lot of people away from that finished product, that finished result. So that's one thing. The other thing is perfection. Everybody's got to be perfect. The website can't go up because it's not perfect. I can't launch the product because it's not perfect. I can't release the book because it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just got to be done. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done. I promise you there will be time for edits. There'll be time for changes later. There'll be time for all of that. Am I right about it or what?
You are right. People get stuck on perfection, and they also get stuck with analysis paralysis.
Yes. Oh, let me see what's making it, what's making this work. And let me see how many people gave me likes. And let me see how many people, signed up for the webinar. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Right. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. So that's one of the things that I would say that I find a lot of people being stuck on. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done. You can go back later and you can edit. I promise you there will be time for that. Even if it's in a book and then you find a mistake, oh my goodness, the end of the world is not here because you have an error in your book. I promise you, okay? People will still purchase your book. And if you really feel that strongly about it, you can always do a revision of the book. Okay, but get it out there. Position yourself to be the expert by having that book out. But the more you wait, now a year done pass by, 2 years pass by, because every time you turn around, you're going to find something that you thought wasn't perfect. You're going to find a sentence that wasn't, that wasn't right. You're going to find a capital letter that was supposed to be a small letter. It's always going to be something. And then you have nothing to show for it because you were looking for perfection. Meanwhile, everybody else in the industry is moving on. Everybody else is making money. Everybody else is being seen as the expert. Everybody else is moving forward, and you're stuck because you are stuck on perfection. So that's another thing. One more that I could tell you that is hindering everybody: social media.
All right.
Social media is hindering a lot of folks. And when I say that, I mean, it is the biggest mistake that you can make is, yes, you want to have a mentor. You want to have people that you look up to, but you're looking up to them. Like, remember, you're looking up to them. So that means that they're on a higher level than you are. Like, I don't know how I can say that. That means that if you're looking up to them, means that they're on a higher level than you are, right? If they're on a higher level than you are, you can't expect to be at the same level as them. If they're here and you're down here, you're now starting out. So you got to stick with where you are and be okay with that, and not try to do everything that they're doing because they're on a higher level. They didn't start out here. They were once down here, right? And when were down here, they had to start at ground zero. They started at ground zero. They started off doing the small $50, a person. They started off with the small, before they got Big Willie and was charging $500 a person. They started off with the small conference in a little itty bitty room. They didn't start off with this big grandioso, they started off with a small workshop. And then it turned into a conference. They didn't just start off with this big conference. No, stay where you are. Be okay with where you are and grow. Be okay where you are now with the heart and the mindset that I'm going to grow every year. I'm going to develop and I'm going to get better and I'm going to get better. Okay? Stop trying to do what the Joneses do. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Keep up with yourself. Know where you are. Be where you are. Be content with where you are. Hire the coach or get the development that you need for where you are. Don't hire the coach for the $10,000 and the $15,000 program. Don't hire the coach with the $10,000 and $15,000 program, knowing that you can't afford it, one. But in the name of, I'm going to invest in myself because that's what they told you needed to do. But you know that that's not where you are. If they're charging $10,000 and $15,000 for their 3-month and 6-month program, that means that that's for a higher level client. You're not quite there yet.
That's right.
So one of the things that I've seen happen, like clients have come to me and have said to me, oh my God, Terryl, I have invested so much money in ABC client, ABC coach, because they're a big name brand, and I still didn't get what I wanted or what I needed at the time. And the reason why, and I had to tell them, they were mad at the coach. I said, no, you can't be mad at the coach. You have to be mad at yourself because you didn't do your homework. You
That's
didn't do your research. You went with that coach because they were a big name brand and they spilt off some good words to you and you fell for it. That's not their fault. You have to know where you are, and you have to make sure that that coach can provide for you what you need in that time. I guarantee you, I promise you that if the coach is charging $10,000 and $15,000 for a 3-month or a 6-month session, they're not going to teach you how to start your business. They're expecting you to already know that. They're expecting that you have already passed that stage. Okay? Don't spend $10,000, $15,000 on a 3 to 6 month program and expect that they're going to teach you how to start your LLC. It's not happening.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And you're absolutely right. Because just because the person might be charging $15,000, but I can almost guarantee that they have another lower level program, or they may have a book. Now, you may not be ready for the Les Brown $15,000 program, but you could go buy his book, or you might be able to buy an audio program. So it's all about understanding where you are and allowing yourself to grow. Now, it might take a little bit longer for you to build up to that level, but the real lesson, I think, is in a journey, and it's in quitting. So I think that what happens with a lot of people is that oftentimes they'll invest in themselves, they'll go to conferences, they'll attend workshops, but then they get overwhelmed, and then they get analysis paralysis, and they don't understand that it's a process and that it's an iterative process. So they have to take step 1, then step 2, then step 3, then step 4, then step 5. It just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen that way. And when you fall, you have to constantly get back up. And I think that a lot of people, when they fall, they begin to doubt. They begin to stop believing in themselves.
Yes.
And you know what I say, if you have 1% doubt, then you're out. So you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in yourself 110%. So a lot of times I think that entrepreneurs trip and they fall, they stumble, and they don't know how to get back up. They have to, they have to be childlike about their business. When a child is learning to walk, they could fall 100 times, but they're going to keep going. They're not going to stop. They're not going to give up just because they fell, just because they got a few bumps and bruises. They're going to keep going.
Absolutely. I love that analogy because I use children all the time when I'm speaking, because I always say that we as adults constantly tell our children, just like what you were saying, get back up, dust yourself off and go again. Don't stop riding the bike. You're going to fall. You just have to get back up. Don't stop jumping the double dutch. You're going to, get hit with the rope. You got to keep going. Right. But then when it happens to us, we're like, I'm not doing that no more. We get an attitude. We crawl underneath the bed and say, you know what, I'm done with this. It's over. But we can't do that. And then I always say also that we have to lead by example. Our children are watching us, regardless of how old they are, because I have a 23-year-old, and I always say, he's watching me. So if I give up, then that tells him that it's okay for him to give up. No, it's not. It's not. So I don't have a choice. I can't give up.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. In order to become a producer, you must not quit. And while that's the end of part 1 of my interview with Terryl Ebony, it is definitely not the end of my message of never quitting, which is the theme of the 7th Annual Small Business Bootcamp for Women taking place on October 20th at the Radisson Hotel in New Rochelle. This is an all-day conference, and it is the one conference where you will walk away with practical and tactical tools and advice that you can use right away to grow your business. So make sure to secure your ticket to the 7th Annual Small Business Bootcamp for Women right now by visiting www.smallbusinessbootcampforwomen.com. And once again, while that's the end of part 1 of my interview with Terryl Ebony, you will have the chance to hear more from her in part 2 of my interview with this phenomenal woman in business. So stay tuned, and until then, remember to be great.
Thank you for listening to the Aim to Win in Business and Life podcast with Tony Coleman Brown. Please visit TonyColemanBrown.com for more information on this episode. And get ready to win.